Hel- Hello, everyone. A very, very good morning to all of you. Today, we are going to discuss projectile motion, which is one of the most important topic for kinematics. If you are studying kinematic and if you are skipping this topic, it means that on an average, you are missing 4 number in your main examination. All right. So we are going to discuss projectile motion in very detailed manner. We are going to cover each and every cases which you are going to uh, see in different questions. So let's just begin the topic. All right. So what is projectile motion? You might have seen that a gun cannon is throwing bullets, or you might have seen someone hitting sixes, a footballer kicking balls. If I throw the pen towards you, this is also going to be in projectile motion. If someone fire a bullet from gun, that is also a projectile motion. If someone fire arrow from bow, that is also a projectile motion. So what is basically projectile motion that we are going to discuss? So in the second example, let us assume I have thrown this pen in vertically upward direction only. All right. I have not given any velocity in X direction. I have just thrown it in vertically upward direction. So will it be a projectile motion? The answer is obviously yes. In the next example, suppose I am going up on some tower, and let us assume this tower height has the tower has some height of around 100 meter, and I am throwing a ball from there. I can throw ball in the horizontal direction also from the top of tower, in vertical direction also, and in between horizontal and vertical direction also. So is all the motions are projectile motion? The answer is yes. So what is basically projectile motion? So projectile motion is any body which once thrown or projected in space with some initial velocity, and after that it moves under the influence of gravity and air resistance only. It has very simple definition. If I'm throwing this pen, I have given some initial velocity. If someone is hitting ball with bat, he has given some initial velocity, and after that it is moving only under the influence of one force. If I am throwing this pen, this does not mean that I'm always going to push this pen in horizontal direction. No, it is in air. Only force acting is in the downward direction, gravity, and some air resistance. For our simplicity, we will reduce or we will eliminate air resistance from our examples or from our questions. So if I have thrown some ball, or cricketer has hit in some ball, this horizontal distance, is called range. And the maximum height, this maximum height, which this ball have attained, that is called maximum height of that projectile. You might have seen in some animation in a cricket match that if someone hit a six, they show that particular path with an arrow, and why that is the parabolic in nature. Can we prove that? Can we prove that? Answer is yes, of course, we will prove that. So in projectile motion, we are going to discuss what? Horizontal range, how much horizontal distance it has covered. Vertical height, how much height it has attained. And time of flight. Time of flight, I don't understand the word, sir, what is time of flight? So if I have thrown this, suppose in vertically upward direction only, it is going up, 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 up. This is time in upward journey. Now it is coming down, 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 down. So total time of flight is time to cover upward journey, time to cover downward journey. For our simplicity, we are going to neglect air resistance. So if we neglect air resistance, then time of upward journey and time of downward journey, both will be same. All right. So let's start. I have this projectile motion in which I have thrown this ball with some initial velocity u at an angle theta. Suppose I am throwing like ball like this. It is moving with some initial velocity. That velocity is u. It is making that particular velocity is making some angle with horizontal direction, that is theta. So from vectors, we know that if I have some vector, I can always resolve it into, at least if I am talking about 2D motion, at least in two component. If I am taking about three dimensions, then I can resolve it in three directions. So if this velocity is u, this angle is theta, then the projection will be ux or u cos theta. Always remember, जिसके साथ theta होगा वो cos लेकर जाएगा. It is going to help you in long term retaining the which is cos theta, which is sin theta. So u cos theta is projection of initial velocity in horizontal direction, and its projection in vertical direction is u sin theta. So I can always write this initial velocity in the form of vectors, that ux I cap, uy j cap. Ux is u cos theta, I cap, uy is u sin theta, j cap. Now suppose if we try to analyze motion in x direction, horizontal direction, all right? So if I have thrown this object, there is no force acting it in x direction. And if no force is acting in x direction, which means there is no acceleration in x direction, or in simply we can say that there is no acceleration in x direction. And we know that if there is no acceleration in a particular direction, then that velocity will remain constant. Since we have formula, I guess you know the formula, v is equals to u plus at. If a is 0, then v is equals to u, means the velocity will remain constant throughout the journey. So that is the important point. What? The velocity in x direction. Velocity in x direction will remain constant. Will remain constant. Will remain constant. So if the velocity remain constant and I have to calculate distance in x direction, what is the distance in x direction? We call it as range. So if I have to calculate distance in x direction, that is, if I have to calculate range, then I should know what? Velocity in x direction, and velocity into time is distance. So velocity in x direction is ux, then I have to calculate time. But which time is it? It is time for whole journey. So if I have to calculate distance in any particular time, I'll calculate by this formula, x is equals to ux into t, or ux is u cos theta. Now let us analyze it in motion in two dimension, or motion in vertical direction. So in vertical direction, I have one acceleration acting on that object particular, and that acceleration is g, which is acting vertically in downward direction. So ay is equals to minus g. Now at any instant, if I have to calculate velocity, we know the formula as v is equals to u for retardation minus a into t. But we are talking about velocity in y direction. So I'll write velocity in y direction final is equals to velocity in initial time in y direction minus acceleration in y direction into time. Or we can simply write Vy is equals to u cos theta minus gt. All right. Next, if I have to calculate time of flight in particular projectile motion. Okay. So we know that from this diagram, we can also know, all right, this is ux. Let me choose a different color. This is ux, which is going to constant throughout the projectile. This is ux, but Vy value will first decrease. So this is Vy, and at vertical maximum height, or at maximum height, vertical component of velocity is 0. So they are going to ask this question at maximum height, at maximum height, at maximum height. First option will be velocity will be equal to 0. Second option will be no, vertical velocity or vertical component of velocity will be 0. Or third option, horizontal component of velocity will be 0. Fourth component, insufficient data, or none of these. All right. So the answer will be vertical component of velocity will be 0. That will be second option. Okay. So we know that at maximum height, vertical component of velocity is going to be 0. So we have that formula Vy is equals to Uy minus Gt. If vertical component of velocity is 0, if this is 0, then I can always write Uy is equal to Gt and Uy is U sine theta. So time is equals to U sine theta by G. It is which time? It is time taken for upward journey. Now that time will be equal to time in downward journey also. So total time of flight will be equal to twice of t. And t is, all right, 2 times U sine theta. So we have this equation, and this is one of the most important question. So t is equals to, I can write 2 times Uy upon G. This is also important, as well as this is also important. Next one, what is maximum height? What is maximum height? That h. So we can derive it by two methods. We can derive it by two methods. First one is, we know that v square is equals to u square minus twice ax. And we are talking about vertical component of velocity. So I can write Vy at maximum height is equal to 0 and initial velocity is u sine theta. So I can write u square sine square theta is equals to 2gh. And from h maximum height, we can calculate. We can also use this equation. H is equals to uy into t minus half gt square. And time we can put as u sine theta upon g. All right. If we put, then also we are going to get the same result only. Now, suppose we have to calculate horizontal range. Just in the beginning of the lecture, we have understood that if I have to calculate any distance in horizontal direction, I always have to write velocity in horizontal direction multiplied by the time. So range is total horizontal distance covered during the projectile. And that is going to R is equals to U cos theta into time of flight. Time of flight, you know that 2 times U sine theta upon G. So total range is U square sine A2 theta. Sir, I don't understand. That was sine theta and cos theta. Now you are writing sine 2 theta. So, but we have this formula, sine 2 theta is always equals to twice into sine theta into cos theta. Twice into sine theta into cos theta. Okay. We have sine theta here, we have cos theta here, we have 2 here. So range is U square sine 2 theta upon G. There is one more relation that is very predominant in the examination, that relations between H and R. We have this formula, right? We have this formula, range formula. So if I divide H upon R, horizontal H upon R, height divided by horizontal range. So this u square will get cancelled out. In the upward or in the numerator, we have sine square theta upon 2g. In the denominator, we have 2 times sine theta cos theta 2 times sin theta cos theta upon g. This g again get cancel out. This sin theta will get cancel out. So I have tan theta sin by cos 10 upon 2 into 2, 4. So we have this important result. H upon R is equal to tan theta upon 4. This is also one of the equation which examination or examiner is going to ask you in different kind of question. So H upon R is tan theta upon 4. All right. Next, suppose I have one person named as Changu. That Changu went up to a tower and now he has thrown this ball in horizontal direction. You might have done in your childhood. And you went up to a particular building and you have thrown some stone. Don't do it now. So that stone, will it going to fall directly or it is going to travel some horizontal distance then fall? Examiner is going to ask that Changu went up to a tower and he has thrown a ball. He want to throw it in a pond, which is at a distance of some distance. Now, what will be its initial velocity? All right. So if they are going to give you x, they are asking you u, what is initial velocity in x direction, multiply by time. This we already know. So if I have this particular height, I can always write h is equals to half gt square. We are going to get t from here. That is under root of twice h upon a g. We have this horizontal range. So range will be equal to ux into time. Time we have twice h into dg. Bus. We'll get the answer. All right. So if I have a particular question in which particular person is standing on a tower or particular cliff and he has thrown some ball, we can always use two type of equations now, which h is equals to half gt square. Then they might ask that what is the velocity with which it is going to strike the ground. So if this particular is the instant when it is reaching the ground, I have this velocity in x direction, u will remain as it is. Now take it as ux. While covering the vertical distance, it will gain some velocity uy. And that particular uy will be equal to, or vy, whatever you call, vy will be equal to, initial velocity in x direction, y direction, uy is 0. So I can write vy is equals to g into t. I'll get vy. Now, total velocity when it is going to touch the ground is, this is my horizontal and vertical component. So I can always write in vector form that this is equals to vx or ux, whatever it is, ux square plus uy square or vy square. This will be our velocity. All right. So these two questions they are going to ask you in examination, whether it is a range related or whether it is a velocity related. Next one. Suppose I have another friend, Bangu, who is throwing some particular ball, in some direction or in some crowd. And the peoples are sitting in stairs, different stairs. So this is not going to be a perfectly projectile motion, or it is not going to cover its whole path. It is going to land somewhere here. Means I have to calculate this particular y corresponding to this particular x. So I should have some relation in which I can relate this y and x. Remember, this is not a maximum height. It is some arbitrary height corresponding to some distance. So go back to the basic. In x direction, we can always write x is equals to u cos theta into time. So time we can calculate from here. In y direction, I can write u sine theta into time minus half gt square. Now, if I have this equation, I can write y is equal to u sine theta, put the value of t, x upon u cos theta. So u will get cancelled out, minus half into g into x value is x square upon u square cos square theta. So this u get cancelled out. Now I have sine theta upon cos theta into x. That is going to be tan theta. I have x here, cos also here. But I don't have sine in the numerator in this particular equation. So I'll multiply and divide by sine theta and sine theta. All right. Now, if I take common, I'll get the equation as x tan theta 1 minus x upon r. R is range. Range is equal to u square 2 sine theta cos theta 2 sine theta cos theta upon g. U square 1 cos will go for 10. So cos theta into sine theta into 2. U square sine 2 theta also I can write divided by g. So this is equation of path of a projectile, which is x tan theta 1 minus x upon r. And you can see this particular x has a power of 2. So I can also write this above equation in terms of constant, that y is equals to a x minus bx square. A and b are constant, since g is constant, cos theta is also constant for a particular angle. And this equation is parabola. So path of projectile will be parabola. All right. So that's all for this session. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care.